the unfolding catastrophe in the Middle East is not Israel's fault. I repeat, it is not Israel's fault. Yes, as you also have reiterated, Israel has a lot to answer for on the Palestine issue historically. Of course it has. Don't we have facts at our disposal? But to redress that, by killing 700 odd Israelis, to commit mass rapes, to launch 6,000 odd rockets and kill and maim hundreds of innocents of Jews, is barbarism not freedom struggle? And then to support this barbarity in the world and in India is even worse. Many of the Arab states, Rahul, have blamed Israel. But then again, that is predictable because almost all Arab states stood against India and supported Pakistan in 1971. And you know who came to our aid not only in 1971 but also in 1999 during the Kargil war when there were sanctions in place against us? Yes, Israel. Doubtless, this is a massive intelligence failure on Israel's part for this catastrophic invasion. But there was intelligence failure on our part in 2611 too. But that didn't stop Israel supporting us then. Number two, there is no doubt that by its actions now, Hamas has totally and possibly forever destroyed Gaza and any dream of peaceful Palestine. It anyway did not want two-state solution to begin with. To support Hamas is to support terrorism and destruction on an unprecedented scale. The shocking thing, Rahul, is that Hamas has even inducted underage Fedayeen in this operation. And these children are now being praised as martyrs. As Golda Meir once said, peace will come when they love their children more than they hate us. Unquote. Rahul, here is the preamble of the charter of Hamas, so-called covenant, and quote verbatim. Israel will continue to exist until Islam obliterates it, just as it has obliterated others before it. The land of Palestine is waqf, consecrated for future Muslim generations until Judgment Day. Since this is the case, the liberation of Palestine is an individual duty for every Muslim wherever he may be. The day of judgment will not come about until Muslims fight Jews and kill them. Then the Jews will hide behind rocks and trees, and the rocks and trees will cry out, "Oh Muslim, there is a Jew hiding behind me, come and kill him," unquote. But here, let me not again snare the fundamentalists and spare the fundamentals. Rahul, the fact is Hamas is only following the fundamentals. The contempt for non-Muslims is real and defining and absolute in Islam. You can't shirk away from it. Al-Kufr Milatun Wahida. Disbelievers are one nation. They are separate. Do not forget that disbelievers are allies of one another, 873. Do not make disbelievers guardians, 551. Do not take disbelievers as friends until they convert and kill them if they refuse, 489. And among the non-believers of Islam, if there is one community, Rahul, that has been specially condemned and cursed, it is the people of the book or the Jews. Jews have been called the worst of creatures, 98.6, 855, condemned to hellfire, 455, 98.6, called apes, 265, 7166, led by Satan, 460, eternally cursed, 447, transformed into apes and pigs and slaves of Taghut, 563. Finally, about this widespread support for Hamas's action here in India from Congress and CPIM politicians to vapid journalists rationalizing the murder and rape of a Jewish woman who was then spat upon amid chants of Allahu Akbar. So why should you be surprised if you heard Muslim students at an Indian university today chant Tera Mera Rishta Kya La ilaha illallah? Why should you be surprised if Indian Muslims who have never marched demanding rehabilitation of 7 lakh Kashmiri Hindus, victims of genocides living in exile, including you, Rahul, but have not only marched, but rioted in Azad Maidan demanding India rehabilitate Rohingya Muslims? You should not be surprised because finally, just 30 seconds, Ambedkar wasn't, and I quote him now verbatim, quote, Islam is a close corporation and the distinction that it makes between Muslims and non-Muslims is very real, very positive and very alienating distinction. The brotherhood of Islam is not the universal brotherhood of man. It is the brotherhood of Muslims for Muslims only. There is fraternity, but its benefit is confined to those within that corporation. For those who are outside that corporation, there is nothing but contempt and enmity. Are we surprised why so many Muslims, Indian Muslims and politicians and leftists are now supporting Hamas and the Palestine against Israel?